Powered by Riverside. 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 Powered by Riverside.
All right, let's start this. Super. I think all our streams are up and running. Um, for those joining us for the first time, you can watch us on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and on Twitter. Uh, and a very warm welcome to ChiNet, where we learn from builders before the machines take over. I'm your host, Rachit Magan. Um, and we have a very interesting discussion which is going to happen today. Um, we know our Bangalore and Hyderabad founders are raising millions to deliver groceries in 10 minutes. While they do that, there's a mechanical engineer in Lucknow who spent 16 years building distribution networks across these states like UP and Bihar. He knows what it takes to get a product from a factory floor to a retailer's hands. He understands why a shopkeeper in a place like Kanpur trusts a certain distributor over others. He's seen thousands of small retailers struggle as organized retail moved in. And because of that, he's now building an AI platform to help physical retail fight back. So today we're going to meet Nikhil Sevak. So
Hi,
Nikhil is a
Rachit.
BITS Pilani graduate. Hi, Nikhil. So as you guys know, Nikhil is from my alma mater. He's a BITS Pilani graduate. He spent 16 years managing DNS Industries, manufacturing products for tier two households. He's built distributor networks across, I would say, semi-urban and urban India. 8 months ago, he started Yet, an AI-driven discovery platform connecting retail brands with local shoppers in India's tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And the amazing part is that he's actually building it from Lucknow, which is also my hometown. Not because he couldn't move to Bangalore, but because Lucknow gives him a strategic advantage that no WeWork in a Delhi or a Bangalore could ever give him. Nikhil, welcome to China. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Thank you so much, Rachit, for the warm introduction. So, briefly about me, I did all my schooling in Lucknow and then went to Pilani for mechanical engineering. So, coming from a close knit business family, I always knew that after graduation, I would come back to Lucknow. So, before yet happened, I was actually looking into the manufacturing of detergents and soaps. And like you said, trying to build a network in UP, Bihar. And apart from that, I was also partly looking into the construction and operations of three hotel properties in Lucknow. So
Amazing. That's
with Yet,
uh,
what we are building is an offline shopping platform. It mirrors the retail landscape in the way that you can find there are three categories. You can find malls, hubs, and stores. And with just one tap, you can explore the retail shopping scene in your city. So,
amazing.
what is
Mm-hmm.
actually interesting is
Mm-hmm.
that we have e-commerce platform, social commerce platform, and a
Right.
plethora of quick commerce platform. But surprisingly, there is no dedicated digital platform for offline shopping. That is what we are envisioning with Yet.
Very interesting.
Building a
You're right. You're right. Because digital platforms, of course, are have been around since a few years now. Social retail is also something which is was hot like 1 year back. It's still of course booming, but physical retail is something which I think has been long forgotten, right? A lot of people think that it's dead, right? And they think that eventually companies like Amazon and Flipkart, or now let's say Blinkit and your Instamarts of the world and Zeptos of the world of the country will completely finish physical retail. Um, We will talk about that in more detail, but I would love to understand a bit about your journey first, because you've studied mechanical engineering, and then you have been in manufacturing for 16 years, right? That is very far from the tech world and the AI startup world, which which I've been living in, honestly. But walk us through the journey. When did you first thought that, okay, I want to build a tech company?
So it wasn't all of a sudden. So it came a little by little, the idea of yet. Actually, there were certain fundamental things that I saw. As a hotelier, I saw that we owned the real assets, but
Right.
discovery was broken in the sense that a large part of our revenue goes to online travel agencies just to get discovered.
Right.
And the other is, as a small manufacturer, I saw that selling online leads, digital leads, had become a valid business. And like coming from a city like Lucknow, I'm more prone to offline shopping. And
Mm-hmm.
in a sense that there has been multiple times that I visited the mall, but somehow I would forget what all stores are there. And the thing is that Google would come to the rescue for that. But if I wanted to know what all offers are going, it became a more acute problem. So
Right.
it struck me that despite offline retail being so central to our lives, it is still messy and confusing. So in a way, that is how the seeds of Yet were born.
Very interesting. So coming from, so I think it turned out to be an advantage that you were in a city like Lucknow, where physical retail is something which a lot of people still do, right? And unlike somewhere like in Bangalore, um, where it's still it's mostly all app driven. Very interesting. And what about what about in general in retail, in the retail space, right? Being in being building these distributor networks across UP, Bihar, even Jharkhand. um, this is something which I don't think any tech founder has experience in, right? And we mostly live in our own laptops. Hardly, I think most of us cannot even go and talk to 20 people outside, right? When and especially like when you speak of distributors. What did your 16 years of of being in a very conventional space teach you about Indian retail, which you think that you could not have learned anywhere else?
Firstly, I would say that a retailer plays a pivotal role. So he's kind of a king. Whatever products he shows to the shopper, that gets sold. So your relationship with the retailer is very important. The other is that I think retail commerce is as much economical or transactional as it is human or relationship driven. And I think also like in offline online commerce, offers and discounts matter. Even in offline retail, offers and discounts play a huge role. They can get you an initial push in the market and create a space for yourself. But if you keep continuing with the same offers and discounts, it kind of gets boring. So you need to be innovative in offline commerce as well. Apart from that, I feel that being in the detergent space, I found out that I could actually increase my volume by lowering my prices, but that would mean I would be compromising with my quality. So the thing is that if you want to build a brand, you need to play more in the medium or the premium segments because that is where the brands get built. Because you are not compromising with quality. So in a way, I would say that these three lessons were quite important, which I got to learn being in the space.
Very interesting. And yeah, I think that's fair, right? There's always, if you're playing on price, right, then it's always it's a death spiral, right? You can keep on
True.
reducing price. There'll be someone else who's selling something else at a lower price, and you need to figure out other ways. Okay, that being said, I understand these three ideologies, and what you're saying also makes a lot of sense, that offline needs to there needs to be new things you need to do even in offline retail. Works very similarly. Let's talk about Yet now. What if let's say, let's use a real world example. Like what does Yet do?
So if you want to know anything in the offline retail space
Hmm.
before stepping out, so Yet helps in the pre-shopping discovery phase. We are
Okay.
also looking to build in the during engagement and the post engagement phase for shopping. Another real world example would be, suppose you are new to the city,
Hmm.
and a lot of people in the cities which I'm building are quite migrants and new to the city, and they wouldn't know where to shop for lighting, or where to get home decor, or the ethnic or the local lehengas, or
Okay.
in fact even the departmental stores or the essential needs. So you can use my Ed, the new to city feature, to find instantly all these things in just a single tap.
Very interesting. So for anyone who's new to a city, uh, for them, then you help them to discover products and discover shops, and then discover these things. But why tier two? You're solving this. If in our previous talks, you like when offline, you told me that you're trying to solve it for Lucknow, Agra, Indore, and not for your metros like Delhi, Hyderabad, or Bangalore. Um, Take me back to that decision. How and when did you decide that you want to build Yet, but you want to solve offline retail for tier two cities instead of metros?
Okay. So one thing I would want to add is that new to the city is one of the features in MyEd. So
Hmm.
we are optimizing for other shopping journeys as well.
Okay.
So, and coming back to your question that why did I choose tier two city, it was kind of a practical decision in the sense that I belong to Lucknow, know this city deeply. So I thought, why not start with the city which I know?
Interesting.
And the other aspect, like you earlier mentioned as well, that offline shopping here still retains its charm.
Hmm.
Offline shopping is a not a nice word to say, but it's common parlance. We do use it, and the other aspect is that uh, if I look at it in a hindsight,
Hmm.
it's a counterintuitive argument. I would say that if I can build something in Lucknow where digital adoption is low and the purchasing power is less as compared to metros
Right.
on a comparative basis. So, if something can work in Lucknow, I think it becomes easier for me to scale to tier one cities or maybe metros. And the other aspect is that I'm building for local businesses. And these local businesses are more treated more like a brand in these cities. They are brands in their own right, as we and, rather than if we compare in metros.
Hmm. That's an interesting point, and I think often overlooked, that a lot of these smaller retailers in tier two cities are brands amongst themselves, right? And whereas in a metro, it'll only be the brands. It'll only be the Reliance and the and the West Sides of the world, which would actually count as a brand. Everything else is a local retailer. Fair. I think that's very interesting. And you said you grew up in Lucknow, and you understand shopping here, as you said that you were close to the city, grew up here. Um, so let's compare. Like, what does shopping in Lucknow look like versus or let me put it this way, that for someone sitting in a WeWork in Bangalore, what does he not know about someone shopping in Lucknow?
I would say that offline shopping is much more easier here
Mm-hmm.
in the sense that there is lesser traffic and I would say lesser noise, and it is more welcome in the way that in metros, you would say that the tech ecosystem is driven by online commerce. So in a way, the psyche favors online commerce
Hmm.
compared to these tier two cities where economy actually grows and thrives through these offline commerce centers.
Right.
That would be one aspect. The other aspect would be that shopping here is social in a way rather than solitary because people are living in families. So you would have your uh, friends, family, relatives whom you would take along with you for shopping. And the third is that I think all these cities have a kind of a hub where you would find that those are distinct identities that you can source products in those hubs. I think these are the main distinctive categories which would make offline commerce or physical retail different in tier two cities like Lucknow or Bangalore or Mumbai as such.
Hmm. Interesting point. Very interesting point. And that tier two city, and you're right. It's counterintuitive, right? Like you would not think of tier shopping in tier two cities being easier. But yeah, if you think of it deeply, it's more of a lot of the time shopping is more like it's like an event in
Cultural thing.
itself. Yeah, it's a cultural thing. You
Yes.
go out with your family members and then you shop. Whereas in metros it's usually necessity based, right? Like you have to go get your things and then come home and then get ready for your next day of work.
Distances are lesser as well.
Of course,
That is
yes,
another
yes,
aspect.
that's also there. Absolutely. Okay, let's talk a bit about yet again. Let's talk about yet yet again. Sorry, that was my hand at a bad joke. But you're calling yet an AI-driven business discovery platform, right? Now, honestly, the moment I hear the word AI, I usually try to think dive a bit deeper that okay, what is AI? Because everyone says AI these days, right? Even your smallest of the smallest, your photo app or your calculator will also now soon start saying that okay, it's an AI based calculator. Let's talk about yet. What's the actual AI in your product,
I would say since we are building for both the businesses and the shoppers,
right?
uh, we are kind of leveraging AI in both these aspects. If I come to the shopper side, how we are leveraging AI is that uh, there is going to be a chatbot named Ask Yet, where you can ask local contextual questions or queries regarding physical retail in these cities. And I think going further, since as we build data, we would be able to provide relevant answers to these shopper queries. And another interesting aspect of this that we are trying to build a blended chatbot in a way that not only we would be answering from our own database, but we will be actually shooting that query to different merchants so that they can also respond in a 24-hour window. So that is something I think would be a unique concept, a human in the loop kind of a chatbot.
Interesting. Okay.
So
So if someone is
so
asking
that is
something
something.
from my yet, then actually a retailer might end up replying.
Yes, they would be given a 24-hour window in which
Mm-hmm.
they can reply along with the relevant answer from our database.
Mm-hmm.
The user would be given.
Okay. And you say that
And
your chatbot has is based on data. Um, I think that's a very big problem, right? Because if you're solving for tier two cities, they are not digitized. Like there are a lot of people still using. They might be using a small Wipro machine for invoices and for their billing, but that's about it, right? They don't have CRM systems which can help them figure everything out. Um, so how do you even train your models, right? Where does the data come from?
the data actually is coming from our business development team. So we have a business development team who actually go to these stores, collect the data. So there is a dearth of data, and therein I think lies the opportunity if we can structure that data, because that I think would be useful for these businesses as well. Coming to the AI side of things for the businesses, we want to use that data so that they can be discovered on the LLM agents and be
Hmm.
verified on those LLM agents, and maybe why not transactable going forward on the chat GPTs of the world.
Wow,
And
that's
uh, the other source of data would be the merchants themselves, because they have a merchant portal which we have made it in a quite a simple way. They can actually uh, update their details. It is, even if they don't know any CRM or not used to it,
mm-hmm.
it's quite simple to update offers, catalogs, other details.
Got it.
And
Um,
the third aspect, which I actually miss, is that the shopper who would be interacting on a platform, maybe using the Ask It feature, or uh, connecting with these businesses, favoriting them, or uploading their receipt, that would be another source of intelligent insight for shopping.
Right, right.
That is
So
how
that
we
that
tend
when the
to,
app starts getting used, I think that data would start coming in. But to seed it,
yes.
I think that's a big feat, right? To get your business development teams to go and digitize these old merchants and old, your conventional retailers. That's definitely a big task. And but yeah, but I'm sure you're managing that well. Um,
Initially, it was quite a difficult task because we didn't have the app itself. And
right,
just to speak to those merchants and telling them that we want to onboard you, it was quite
right.
difficult. But as things have progressed, it has become easier. And now I think I do get a lot of queries regarding merchants who want me to onboard them.
Wow.
So the equation is changing because of that trust developing and the
Right.
product in the market.
Right. I think that's interesting. Initially, of course, you have to work, yeah, work very hard, but eventually things
Mm.
improve. I think
Still
once you
need to
have a
work
small
very
brand.
hard. Still.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah, so how did the initial days look like?
Initial days were difficult in the sense that onboarding of different business development team was difficult because I had to build a team with just a vision in mind.
Wow.
So to get them motivated was difficult. But I
Of
think
course.
now I have come to a stage that since I have an ecosystem is in place, and there are people even in Nagpur who are contacting me that they would want to start in Nagpur,
Wow.
or in fact Nasik. So things have gradually started becoming easier.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, I think as you progress, then things.
Sorry, I'm unable to hear your voice.
Can you? Is it better now?
Ah, yes, better now.
Okay. Um, quick, I'm getting a heads up from Riverside, Nikhil, that your battery is less than 20%. Do you want to put it to a charge? Do you put your phone to a charge, or it's fine?
It's fine. I think I
Okay.
can
All
continue.
right. All right. Riverside is getting pretty hyper about that, but it's okay. We can continue. Great. So tell me a bit about, so you were, one of your target users are people migrating to tier two cities, right? How is that demographic growing? How are migrant students, professionals coming to these? How and why are they coming to these tier two cities?
I think that is a very sizable chunk of population who are migrating to
Mm-hmm.
tier two cities, like people in tier two cities flocking to metros or tier one cities. Just in fact, for the same reasons that there are more opportunities for job, better living conditions, better quality of life. So I would say I would divide it into three categories. One is for those who are students, like you rightly pointed out, who want a better quality of education.
Mm-hmm.
Others are who are looking for jobs, and the third one would be maybe newlywed or people who are looking for a better quality of life and moving to these cities and setting up their home. So
Interesting.
these are in fact going to drive the next future demand, which a lot of people are seeing in tier two retail, and
Wow.
this is where Yet is catering to them.
Hmm. True. That's just like we. I think that's like the circle of life, if I might, or like the pyramid of life. Like everyone wants to upgrade, right? So I think you're right when you say that
So
now tier two cities will, in at least in India, they'll now become the next big hub, and that's gonna impact the market. Very, that's a very un- overlooked, underserved sort of a market, because I don't think a lot of tech startups are considering it. And even especially tier two is still fine. The moment you move a bit down the pyramid, you go to tier three cities. I don't even think these quick commerce companies are even thinking about those cities, right? They don't even, their economics of scale don't match. And I think that but of course you need technology over there, or even if it's offline retail, you need things to help people, as
And the
long
fact
as.
that these tier two cities and tier three cities actually
Right.
have a cultural identity and local crafts. Say, for
Hmm.
example, Banarsi sari in Varanasi or
Right.
Chanderi sari in Indore.
Right.
That gives a distinct advantage which they can actually sell to the world
Hmm.
for shopping related purposes.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's true. um Talking about these retailers, right? I can't help. I can't get my head around the fact that so when we again, this comes from our discussion previously, that you've onboarded, if I'm not wrong, more than 2,500 retailers already on yet. um, I can't get my head around that. How are you even working with them, right? Because when I think of these retailers, they're probably working, they're running businesses since like 20-30 years, right? These are family businesses which have been passed down from generations and generation. They're not tech savvy. A lot of them don't even want to change, right? How do you even convince them to get onboarded to a platform like this?
I think one of the major overlooked aspect is that the fact that they have been running for so many years, so they know that if they want to stay in the market, they need to change. So that is built
Okay.
into their genes. So
Interesting.
surprisingly, I would say that even my business development team found it quite surprising that the older generation were also receptive to adopting a digital platform because they know that this is going to be the future, or in fact the current present, that which they should leverage to increase their sales as well as visibility and recognition. So for me,
Wow.
adopting businesses wasn't a difficult task. That is the reason I've been able to do that so far. And the
Wow.
other aspect, sorry for it. The other aspect is that the UI is quite simple. So, and we are not throwing tech jargons at them. We are just telling that you have a existing model that is working. We just want to make you visible to people who are not even in your streets or in your city so that they can know about your craft, know the story that you want to tell them.
Interesting. Walk, give me an example. Like, let's say there's a 55-year-old retailer, let's say a jewelry shop based out of Indore, right? What do you do? Like, does your business guy walk into the store and say that, okay, I want to get you onboarded to this app? Like, how does that work? How does your sales work?
I think trust needs to be established initially. So rather than telling that we need to onboard you, the person would actually kind of get to know about the craft, what their business model is, and then explain to them in a non-technical matter that how yet can help increase their reach this by and not impact their business model as such. And we have an interesting thing that we kind of think that small is beautiful. Even the small store, which actually caters to 10 businesses, it's doing because it wants to customize products for all of them. And in fact, their quality is no less than a large store. So that is how we kind of build trust. And we also tell them that we are not going to hide any data or any customer insight. Your number would be visible. Any person which favorites you or uploads their receipt or asks for a product notification, you will get the relevant information. Actually, by not hiding this information, it's also helping us in a way that we feel that we need to make our model better so that we can be a service provider to them. So that is how
Got
it
it.
has helped improve the interface, the product of Yet as well.
Hmm. Got it. So you basically start small, build that trust, and then you finally get them, tell them more, get them to the app.
Uh, And another interesting insight is that we actually focus on a particular cluster. If we can actually onboard different premium businesses in that cluster that builds the trust for other businesses in that cluster. And then we move to other hubs or clusters
Got it.
to onboard businesses.
You work cluster by cluster, and fair enough. So
Yes.
the hard part is converting the first business from one cluster, and then you move to the other one, and then it becomes easier.
So
Fair, fair. That makes sense. But you're saying, trust, culture, community, cluster. These these are not traditional tech metrics, right? We are used to things like ARPU and your revenue. You can't A/B test trust. How do you even build a tech platform in a market where the currency is actually relationships and not transactions?
So that trust, I think, develops by being non-technical in nature, being transparent about the insights of customers that would actually look at them, discover them on a platform. Other way of trusting, developing trust is through our business development team. I actually tell them that they don't have to overpromise and under-deliver.
Right.
So in a way, that helps build a trust. So how we have progress is that people who have taken a growth plan, which is 5x lesser than the other plans, have actually those who have trusted us with the growth plan have actually taken the bigger plan.
Got it. Got
So
it.
trust is built gradually. That is how we
Hmm.
have done this.
Hmm. Interesting. That's, I think, yeah, that's the only fair way to grow, right? You build step by step. You don't directly jump into selling. And actually, I've been reading a lot of books on sales and marketing. That's become my new, every I've I think the last 15 years, whenever there's been a new technology, I've always been jumped right into it, and I've tried that. Okay, let's learn. A new ID. Okay, let's figure out how to code this. So started with C and then C++ and then Java, and I think after AI, I've been like, okay, technology is fine. Now let's dive into sales and marketing, and that was one thing which I learned. There's this. Reading a very interesting book, and it told me, and the initial thing about the initial chapter in that book said that as a marketer, you basically just need to help people, right? And then everything else flows. But the moment you start trying to convince or coerce people into buying,
Yes.
it will not work. And I think you're solving that very well. You're doing exactly what they're saying. um, and it's a very interesting space to be in as well. Tier 2 city is getting tech, offline tech. um, so last question. It's already been almost
Okay.
40 minutes since we've been talking. Did not even get to know it's been so long. But last question for today, and that is for people. So there are a lot of people in conventional businesses, right, who look at tech founders raising millions and get, um, for the lack of better word, jealous, right? And they like that. Okay, we wish we could be that. I've been a tech founder all my life. I know how hard it is to even build a positive revenue company from scratch, and especially in tech. What would be your advice to folks in conventional businesses, who want to start a tech startup?
I would suggest them not to take the reverse journey which you took from being a tech founder to a marketer. I think they shouldn't move from a marketer to try to become a techie because it's quite a difficult job. And
Right.
so I think they should leverage their actual experience which they have gained working in the sector which they belong, and use that intuition to actually build products. First would be hiring a good development agencies, leave the tech bit to them, and use your experience, use what you know best. That is something I would tell them. Firstly, the other aspect would be storytelling is important, either to your investors or to the team. or to your customers, because frankly speaking, you just have a vision in mind, and to for people to feel that vision, you need to be a good storyteller, and actually they can use their rich experience to augment or amplify those stories. So I think these would be the two advice for them. Don't be intimidated by tech, and also not try to become a techie. Use your experience to guide you. That would
Amazing.
be, it be.
Right, right. Don't try to. So you are against building your own startup from Lovable and Windsurf and those, like you're against vibe coding your own app.
You can do that, but I would say that leave it to the people who know it best.
Amazing. Yay.
I
Happy for that. Happy for that.
I did actually build a part of my app, the UI
Mm-hmm.
interface through Lovable,
Mm-hmm.
but
Right.
I would say that is just an intuition, or that is just the beginning of something, which I think you should leave it to the techies to solve it for you.
True, no, true. I think Lovable, like, these vibe coding tools are amazing to build MVPs and to show your idea, right? I think that's earlier what
So,
used to happen is if someone if you have an idea, you think that there's you want to do this XYZ thing, there was no way to explain it to a developer that okay, what do you want, right? I think these
yes.
tools can be used to explain it, not just explain, but actually to build a working prototype to see if your idea is working or not. But the moment you want to move it to production, you need real talent, right? You cannot
Uh,
vibe code your way through
so,
a.
so
Yeah.
one thing I would want to add is that even not also explaining it to the developer, using these tools make things clearer in your mind as well, that how you
True.
can actually build those things.
Right. Right. True. Very true. Great, Nikhil. This has been amazing. You've taught us a lot
Thank
about tier two cities, and you've taught us a lot about building in this very niche. I would not say niche. It's still a big space, but it's a very overlooked space, right? And yeah. Thank you once more for all our listeners. That was Nikhil Sevak. He is building Yet right now from Lucknow. He's trying to fight back for physical retail. So if you know anyone who's in any physical retail, in offline commerce, who wants to experience what an AI tool would look like for them, you can contact Nikhil, and you can download the Yet.in application and try it out yourself. Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you so much for your time.